and followers.
Okay.
They were believers and they are followers.
Kenyans give themselves.
All right, now here we are. It's 15 years since, it will be 15 years in August since the 2010 Constitution was enacted. But some changes happened last week in the Senate. There are some 3 senators that had been chairing committees, the Committee of Transport, the Committee of Education, Committee on Agriculture. They were removed from those committees. Kamau Morango from Agriculture, Karungo Thangwa from Transport, and Joe Nyuto from Education. He was here last week on Thursday, that is Joe Nyuto, and he was saying that he's now free at last to express his mind, to vote the way he finds appropriate instead of being pressured by the majority side. There's a story on page 6 of the Daily Nation. Ruto yields to Raila in deal on leadership of key House panels. Meeting allows opposition lawmakers to chair crucial committees of the National Assembly. They're also saying that there are some 5 committees whose vice chairpersons Azimio is free to appoint. But there was also a press conference last week of Junet Mohammed after the ruling of the Speaker of the National Assembly protesting that decision to say that Kenya Kwanza is the majority. They insist they should be, that is, Azimio should be the majority and Kenya Kwanza the minority. I don't know what you have to say to this, Mheshimiwa Senator. You are referring to this particular question that people should not run to their tribal cocoons to say that they've been punished for whatever. But what is going on there in the Senate with the removal of these 3 members from those committees?
Let me share with you, my brother,
yep,
that when you get to the Senate, and I think this is also true in the National Assembly, when the committees are formed, what we call the watchdog committees, which is what my brother Makali was talking about, PIC, CPIC, and I think even delegated, delegated committee, yeah, is a watchdog committee. What happens is that the minority side gets just 1 more member of parliament more than the other side. But when we are electing the leadership of the committees, it's actually an election. When we got into parliament, I think that in Senate there was so much heated debate between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio on the basis of the what the Azimio saw as a rigged election, or were disputing the election of that time. But despite that, Cherargei, Senator Cherargei, who is a face of Kenya Kwanza, was elected vice chair of PAC, and he viced Moses Kajwang up to now that were reforming these other committees. And you will see that the PAC in Senate, the committee of PAC in Senate, you can attest that you can point to what that committee has done, including going to deal with the mess in Isiolo that the entire country saw. Today, tell me what is your position, what do you understand? You are one of the biggest media houses in this country, right? And nothing you can miss from the Senate. What do you understand as the position of Senate when it comes to matters transport? Is there any position? There was a chair called Karungo Thangwa, Senator of Kiambu. Even when we had Adani going on, do you have a position of Senate on Adani issues, if not individual senators who took different angles on this issue? There ought to have been a Senate voice from the Transport Committee. Today, people are suffering with the issues of education, including university funding that has not been translated to the people, including the issue of transition of young people, JSS, to this new curriculum that we have in the country. All the mess that is in the education system in the country today and all the struggles. Tell me what you understand as the position of Senate as a result of Senator Nyuto of Muranga.
How many members does the committee have?
We are talking about leadership position.
No, I'm asking.
But in general, we have got 9 members.
Okay,
we have got 9 members.
What does the chair do, by the way?
The chair leads the committee. It's as simple as that. They chair the committee.
Who makes the decision?
They lead the entire committee, but with the leadership starts and stops the chair.
Is it fair for you to blame an individual senator who chairs the committee, forgetting about the structure of that committee, who is the majority, who is the minority, and how the decisions are made in that committee?
That's what we call excuse for mischief.
No, I'm asking.
Because you are telling me...
No, just hold on.
No, it is very fair.
The committee that Senator Kajwang leads,
yes.
How many members come from Azimio?
5 members.
How many come from Kenya Kwanza?
4 members.
In the Transport Committee, how many come from Kenya Kwanza?
5 members.
How many come from Azimio?
4 members.
What is the pattern there?
Sorry?
What is the pattern there?
The pattern is, I started by saying that, the difference between those committees is just one senator or one member of parliament, if I was even to take the National Assembly. And I told you that the committees then elect people based on, once a committee is convened, it's actually seen as an independent committee that can elect a member. And I've given you an example of where we were in very serious differences, and Senator Cherargei was elected a vice chair of a watchdog committee that's supposed to be minority, despite the fact that we are in heated debates, right? So what I was questioning here was the idea that a few members of parliament want to go out there and say that the reason why they're being de-whipped from some committees, right, and being taken away from some committees is purely an issue of politics. So I also think that they must also be held to account that, come to TV and tell us that I am John Newton. Kenyans, you know me, the way I fought so much for education funding, in the sense as chair of education, the way I fought so much for proper resourcing of JSS for people of Kenya, the way I fought so much for organization of this CBC, right? And they are removing me from the committee.
Okay.
That's a better conversation in terms of competence than the discussion that I'm now from this region, I'm a Kikuyu, I am this, that's why I'm being removed from the committees. Right. It's a basic, archaic argument that must stop in this country.
Let's hear from the member who comes from Kenya Kwanza, because you sit in the health committee.
I sit in the health committee.
And it's one committee that Kenyans feel have been let down by, if you had to look at the many decisions that your committee has made, including the clearance of the 104 billion shilling, what is the name, technological system that is supposed to implement SHA and other services. How are decisions made in that committee?
We receive issues, one, either from Parliament or in our normal functions as oversighting the Ministry of Health and the MDGs. Yeah. However, on the matter of...
what are MDGs?
MDS, Ministerial Departments.
Yeah. Now, on the matter of the digital health system, that matter is still alive before the committee. And at the last meeting in Mombasa, where we interrogated the Safaricom Red Consortium, the last decision of the committee, which is yet to be addressed by the ministry and by the Social Health Authority and the Digital Health Authority, was for them to bring before the committee the cash flow forecast, showing us exactly how much money was being invested, in exactly which area it was being invested, and how this system was eventually in 10 years going to generate the 104 billion. The matter is still alive before the
When
committee.
was that meeting in
That meeting was in
Mombasa?
November last year.
November 2024.
2024. You remember we went on recess, we have come back. That matter is still alive before the committee.
So, question here.
Yes.
Why are you taking so long? Yes, you said there has been, you have been on recess, but why are you taking so long? Because it's 4 months. We are past 4 months of implementation of the new system.
See, when a decision has been made, the oversight is on how it is being implemented. When you look at the first month, we had a lot of issues with the system. And today, Sam, when Kenyans are complaining about the glitches in the system, this is the question I'm waiting for Safaricom and its consortium to answer. Safaricom, on its M-Pesa, handles 10.3 million M-Pesa transactions in one day. Those are about 500 transactions in an hour. In the year 2023, Safaricom handled 20 billion transactions on M-Pesa platform. That experience, with that kind of experience, and that kind of output on a digital system, then why is Safaricom struggling?
Is the system on?
The system, it is all over. It has about 5 components. Nobody can tell you which one is exactly functional.
So tell me here,
within the 4 months,
let me take you to that meeting in Mombasa.
Yes.
Before it happened, there was a session in Parliament, and members of Parliament, especially from Azimio's side, were expressing themselves against that 104 billion shilling project. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You went to Mombasa, and you are told that it's clean bill of health. What happened in Mombasa?
And we were told it's a clean bill of health. Two issues came out. One, why was there no competitive tendering? Because it was a single-sourced system from Safaricom. It was a proposal to Safaricom. That is one of the questions that we are expecting a response from the ministry. The second one...
So why did you give a clean bill of health if you don't have an answer?
The committee never gave a clean bill of health.
The noise went quiet.
If you remember in Parliament, when the chairman of the committee stood to raise a statement, the members of the health committee stood and said that statement is not a property of the Committee of Health. It was a personal statement by the chair, which is allowed because he's a parliamentarian. So the report, of the committee on the SHA system, or because it's actually the Digital Health Authority system.
Yeah.
The report of the committee is not out yet. We are still progressing with the inquiry.
Should you fault the chairman for that?
I do not fault the chairman. I said there's a statement he read towards the closure, and the members of the committee did raise issue with that statement. The verdict from the chair, from the speaker, was that that was a personal statement. So the committee never gave.
Okay. Mheshimiwa Mulu, you've been in the House for a bit of time now, and we've been here before when the minority starts to chair committees, including, remember, the governor of Homa Bay was once the finance chair.
Yes.
after quite some heated...
handshake.
Yes, after the handshake season. I mean, how are decisions made, and what will change with this purge? And then you bring on board members from the minority side, or should I say Azimio, because now that is also in contest. What will change, really?
You know, Sam, but maybe before I come to that,
yeah.
This issue of the digital system of health, I think we have discussed it in this show with you, and we said, you know, Kenya is a country of where you can't understand. You have a system of 104B, you can't fund the main functions. You remember the budgets for the items, primary health care, the emergency care, was not even a quarter of that. But that's a topic for another day. Now, the reason why you see...
Sorry, say that again.
I'm saying,
yes.
You remember when we were debating this matter?
Yes.
NHIF had already procured a digital system, 104 billion.
Yes.
But they could not fund a quarter of the expected amount, which will benefit Kenyans.
It is not...
Even the budget we have in our books.
The Digital Health Authority. Digital Health Authority. We have the Social Health Authority. We have a Digital Health Authority.
That's okay, but it's all NHIF. It's all SHA and CHIP, as they call it. But the thing is, Sam, what we are saying is this.
It's even more of them are still confused about what they do between SHA, CHIP.
I'm saying SHA is, which was the procurement entity.
No. Digital Health Authority was the procuring entity.
To serve who?
We have followed.
The letter is all sent by the PS.
That's the thing.
Ministry of Health.
It's an authorities thing.
By the PS Ministry of Health. The digital health system is not procured by SHA. SHA is one of the clients. That system belongs to the Digital Health Authority.
So, but the point, let's clarify this.
The law
so,
in
who signed the procurement arrangements?
The procurement of the documents is signed by Digital Health Authority.
Who is the head of that?
CEO. There is a CEO. If you want, I can get his name.
How come it's the PS communicating?
The PS. At that point,
so the PS is there.
Let's hold. At that point, after passing the laws, the formation of the organizational structure, an authority has to have a board, it has to have the CEO and the directors. At the point of the procurement of the system, the formation of the authority was in the pipeline. The signature on the procurement of the system is for the PS medical services.
Is that regular, based on your assessment as a member of the committee?
That is why I have said the issues surrounding that whole space is still alive before the Health Committee.
And that's what I was saying, Sam. In simple terms, we are able to procure a digital system, 104 billion. We can't budget for the money which goes to serve Kenyans. The expected budget to serve Kenyans, we could only fund about a quarter of it. And we had the figures. But let's come to the committees. The reason why you see some, it's so important to determine who is the majority and the minority in any house, is because that determination also determines the numbers in the committees. So immediately you say, we are the majority and you are the minority. First of all, there are committees which should be shared by the majority. And they are the committees are also the majority. Then there are committees which are supposed to be shared by the minority. And those are basically watchdog committees. There are very few. By the way, there are about 10 of them. So you realize that immediately you are declared to be the minority, you have, from the minority side, very few chairing committees. But once you are told that you are the majority, you find even first-timers chairing committees in the majority side. If you look at the majority side, we have first-timers chairing committees.
In this current situation, no first-timer is chairing a committee. Indeed. No first-timer is a vice chair of a committee.
But in the Senate,
no, it's
what
true.
are you saying?
In the Senate, it's
in the National Assembly, in the National Assembly,
even in the National Assembly,
and in any case, I get a little bit. What do you mean first-timers?
Can you finish?
No, but
okay. Let me make my point. You had your time. You had your time.
Are you saying that first-timers are incompetent?
I'm saying basically in terms of experience, and it's not.
So they are inexperienced.
The other day we were in Naivasha. The speaker himself said, at times when he's chairing, when he's presiding over the house, you would see a chair presenting a report, and the report is seconded by the deputy, and he wonders whether the deputy should have been the chair and the chair be the deputy.
Thank you.
These are obvious things. So what we are saying is this determination of majority and the minority sum. And that's what I'm saying from where I sit. It's dishonesty to Kenyans to start mixing that you are in the minority and you are taking committees in the majority. If it is determined as mere is the majority, as mere coalition is the majority, then can they take all the committees which are supposed to be chaired by the majority? And if the Kenya Kwanza is the minority, can they then take committees which are supposed to be chaired by the minority, which are the watchdog committees? In that case, then, we'll be able to move our oversight role to a higher level.
But what is the chance, and I think Mheshimiwa Mugako can come in on this, what is the chance that you find a committee, sorry Mheshimiwa Mudenge, that you have a committee that has majority membership from the majority side, in this case Kenya Kwanza, as determined by the Speaker, and you're expecting oversight to happen in that sector? Because the more successful committees are those that are chaired by the minority side, because obviously they need to oversight the regime in power.
True. In fact, that is where we go wrong. And we lose this at the political party level when political parties even have positions at committee level. Because as Dr. Makau said, the role of Parliament as a collectivity is to oversight the executive. And it is only through those committees doing thorough work and being the eyes and ears of Parliament that we will get it right. But in majority of the cases, and this is where I take offense with the reference to other members as first-timers, because there is a tendency that people are given chair position of these committees based on how many terms they are serving, which term they are serving, notwithstanding their competence.
Is there a problem with being a first-timer, really?
No, there isn't.
There is a problem with old-timers, if I can use the same reference. Because really, as a house...
There's also a term ranking member. What does that mean?
It means the same thing, old-timers. Ranking members are those who have been...
When do you become ranking? From second or third term?
It depends on how many times you're... And you know the thing, what you're saying, Sam, being a first-timer, the only disadvantage you have is in terms of appreciating the house procedure, standing orders...
But so I wanted to contribute on that, but Sam, you didn't give me a chance. Because a very important information.
That takes time.
That takes time. And that is where we lose it, because when people are lumped, members are lumped as first-timers, even as a lawyer like me, seized of knowledge of the law and standing orders, I am considered a first-timer and therefore not fully hands-on on the procedures. And this is where we lose it. So that now when you get to a situation like what we are dealing with the Health Committee, which is dealing with the health of Kenyans, the lives of Kenyans, and the SHA program is not working to the expectations of Kenyans. The first blame should be on the committee of the health, because those are the people who should expeditiously ensure that the budget line they approve for the health sector, the implementation of that budget gives value to Kenyans. But when we are struggling like we are, certainly there is a problem, and the problem starts from that committee. And that is why I want to implore as members, ranking as some may be, don't take up a chair role when you know you are not equal to the task. It is only honorable that you utilize the talent Kenyans have brought to the House, even if they come at half-term, because we are going to do by-elections and some of the members going to be elected will be super skilled. Let us as Kenyans decide that meritocracy will rule everywhere, even in committees.
Senator, you know, let me yes. So this is my closing remark.
Yes.
I get on my first time.
No, there you are. You must accept that fact. You know, Sam. But this is the thing, Sam. That's not. No. That's not. They don't want to talk about the experience of Parliament.
There's nothing wrong with that.
How come they appreciate experience? But this is the thing.
The president is the first time
they are trivializing.
As president.
No. Trivializing.
That is not the case.
My brother Makau Mulu.
Makali Mulu is trivializing the institution of Parliament. You know why? Sam, do you think there is a chance that the entire Parliament of Kenya can be sent home by the people of Kenya? There is a chance.
Yeah, there is. Why not?
It can all be sent home, or a significant number of parliamentarians can be sent home by a number of Kenyans. If that happens, and then there is 3/4 of new people have entered Parliament, do they not serve the people in those committees? They will. They will have to come to the task and do serve the people. The idea of first-timers and ranking members enjoy some privileges, but not privileges that are key to destroy the institution of Parliament and make it impossible for people to serve. What my brother is not telling you here is this. Parliament as an institution, in those committees, we have got what we call secretariat. People who are employed by taxpayers' money to work the hard job and technical work of Parliament, and they don't get to be elected every year. It is an institution that is resilient to elections that happen in every cycle. So whether you're a first-time or a ranking member, you can actually be able to make sure that a community runs. But my important point is this. Somewhere we find ourselves as a country right now, whether these committees are reorganized or not, we as a people must make the government work for the people of Kenya. We must be able to bring the business class to the table of governance, where we know that government does not employ people as compared to the job opportunities created in the private sector. We must make this economy work for the people of Kenya, and it is high time that the Kenya Kwanza government must be able to come to what we call the fire of baptism from what happened in AU, where you say, what makes Kenyans trust the government? It is service delivery, and on our side, as a parliament, is accountability to people who are supposed to offer service delivery. This is where we must go in the next few days to make sure that Kenyans can be able to trust both people who are elected in the executive and those who are elected in Parliament.
Thank you so much. We are past our time, but quickly on the feedback that Kenyans have shared with us at Citizen TV, and subject to the hashtag to use the Citizen Daybreak on what they are saying this morning. Let's begin with Franco Rinde. You're saying that those pretending to love Baba now are just but hypocrites. Why couldn't they agree to support his presidential bid? KKA Brigade are only playing politics of convenience. Saying you want him to play a role in government is accepting that Kenya Kwanza are incompetent. Kimani Kenneth, you're saying that Raila will always be an important political player locally due to his longevity in the political arena. Age, unfortunately, really? Okay, Remy Butia, you're saying that Raila's loss in Addis will lead to a reshuffling of opposition leadership and strategies. Younger leaders within the opposition will push for a more prominent role, potentially leading to internal competition or realignment. Kipchumba, you're saying that Raila has played a key role in Kenya's political journey. His experience and influence can still benefit the country beyond 2027. It's time to tap into his leadership now for a better future. That is Kipchumba tweeting us at Citizen, or rather sending us at Sam Gituku. The hashtag is Citizen Daybreak. We don't have time remaining, but of course there's the demise of Kepsha Boss, who died on Sunday. Johnson Nziuka, a road accident, and has been eulogized as one of Kenya's most dedicated educators, an experience of about 38 years. May his soul rest in peace, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Mheshimiwa Duncan Madenge, thank you so much. Mheshimiwa Nokali Mulu, Mheshimiwa Stephen Mugaka, and Mheshimiwa Senator Eddie Okech from Migori County. Thank you for making time for us of this conversation. Up next is Matter Social. My name is Sam Gituku. See you again some other time. Bye for now.